Welcome to Real Estate Coaching Radio, starring award-winning real estate coaches and #1 international best-selling authors, Tim and Julie Harris. This is the #1 daily radio show for realtors looking for a no BS, authentic, real-time coaching experience. What's really working in today's market, how to generate more leads, make more money, and have more time for what you love in your life. And now your hosts, Tim and Julie Harris.
Welcome back. Today we're focusing on the 7 secrets of successful agents. And Julie and I, we do podcasts like this and YouTube videos like this, I would say probably, maybe 3-4 times a year. But we've updated all these points to reflect the new market because successful agents have already pivoted because obviously they know the new market is arriving. Not quite here yet, but almost here indeed. And remember, yesterday we gave you a great, I think, would be an analogy, almost a parable, I have to say, of crossing a rickety Indiana Jones type rope bridge across a big gorge from one landmass to the other. And, the analogy is that you have to be careful which of these boards you're going to step on. Step on the wrong one, you're going to fall through the bridge and, end up God knows where. Well, the same thing's true. How about that for drama for you listeners?
I know, and even more. I've been thinking about this analogy.
Oh, boy.
You also have to keep moving across that bridge because the land behind you is collapsing and turning back isn't really an option.
Shall we add some zombies chasing you, Julie?
Alligators, something.
Alligators, okay, got it. So the point being is that you want to be careful where you step next. Otherwise, you will end up in one of Julie's science fiction dystopian visions that she's having for what's, happens if you don't cross the bridge fast enough.
Exactly.
But just to keep that in mind and listening to this podcast, we appreciate all the feedback and listening to and watching us on YouTube. Again, we appreciate all the great reviews you guys are giving us. I think is becoming a clear path forward for many of you because of this market. And we certainly appreciate the fact that you're supporting us in this changing market as well. And Julie and I are going to start producing a lot more content for all of you because really we know more than anything, you need to feel like you have a community that you can go to. And that's what this podcast, that's what Tim and Julie Harris Real Estate Coaching is all about, a community of like-minded people. Because here's really the thing that, the glue that keeps all of us together, it's wanting to be of service to other people. Julie and I wanting to be of service to all of you guys wanting to be of service to all of your clients. And when you are of service to enough people, in other words, when you've been given permission by the marketplace, as it were, to provide a service or, produce a product for them, on the other side of that is a lot of money, and a lot of success, a lot of the things that you want in life. But in order to earn the right to be of service to other people, you have to have the skill set and the mindset to match. And we are certainly, again, very appreciative of the fact that you're leaning into us during these really, crazy, weird, strange times. I mean, as Julie said, alligators and zombies.
Changing times at the very least.
That's what it feels like. All right, so Julie, let's get to the points. So these are 7 secrets of successful agents. So write these things down. And remember, if you're watching us on YouTube, you can click the link there in the description and join Premier Coaching, but you can also get all of our show notes. And if you're listening to us on iTunes or Stitcher or any of the podcasting listening devices that all of us use, then most of the notes should appear there. But everything lives over on our main website, which is timandjulieharris.com. So Julie, let's jump right in.
That's right. So let's set this mindset a little bit. And we're talking about success today, but everybody has struggles and challenges. That's called life. How you deal with those challenges makes all the difference. So today we're talking about how to embrace the habits of the most successful agents and brokers and how to adopt those practices into your daily life. You can be the most successful real estate professional possible when you follow a few simple but powerful steps. Now, it's easy to make excuses about success. You could easily convince yourself that successful people must have some outsized advantage over the unsuccessful. This is similar to the rich versus poor excuse. They were born with it, they inherited it, they must be doing something to cheat the system or take advantage of others, but none of that is actually true. Nope. I hear Zoe saying, nope.
Yep.
It's all about how they handle the same struggles, the successful agents. It's about how they handle those same struggles in life that you're really dealing with. So successful people were all just like you at one point. There's no such thing as an overnight success. So what makes them different? What were the steps that got them to where they are? Now, Napoleon Hill said, strength and growth come only from effort and struggle. So the struggle's baked in. But successful real estate agents know this and they don't fight it the way that unsuccessful types do. Now, We, as most of our listeners know, but maybe not all of you, maybe some of you are new to this, we build our own successful real estate career.
Well, we've been in the real estate industry we've been married this year for 31 years, and Julie and I bought our first house when we were 22 and 23. So I'll give you an indication, and I'm not going to say how much older than that we are. She just gave me the stink eye. I'm not allowed to say.
No, I usually say we're 177 years old in realtor years.
Oh, exactly. Well, let's just say we're about double what we were when we bought our first, well, more than double what we were when we bought our first house. But the moral of the story is we sold real estate for 10 years, selling between 100 and 200 homes per year, as all of you guys know. And we sold 100 houses our first year in the business, and we've been coaching agents really for about 20 years now. So the reality of it is that we've been there, done that, not just in our own personal experience as in us doing it ourselves, but through, at this point, hundreds of thousands of real estate agents who have been coaching clients. So it's important that when you guys are seeking information as to what the next step should be on the rope bridge, that you choose wisely who you listen to. And one of the greatest, I think, important lessons that all of us need to learn is even though someone might sound like, look like, talk like, present like they know what the hell they're talking about, don't assume that they do. Use common sense to discern who you should be following in a market like this. And one of the greatest, frankly, precursors is whether someone's actually been successful for a long period of time in anything, real estate coaching, real estate sales. And so if you're looking to move forward and understand how to be successful in real estate long term, we're hoping that you'll appreciate these 7 points. So point number 1, Julie.
That's right. Point number 1, successful real estate agents feel the same fears, struggles, and challenges that everyone else has. They just aren't paralyzed by it. They use those emotions and thoughts and feelings to motivate them into action.
Let's drill down on that. It is normal and natural to have, it's like the stages of, what is
mastery.
it? No. Well,
Learning.
Stages of mastery. You're going to keep on throwing out words. No, when you have someone pass away.
Oh, stages of grief.
Yeah, stages of grief, right? So, when you reach a certain age, you'll have had people that you sincerely love and care about pass away. And so you go through stages of grief, and the first stage is, denial. And that's where a lot of the real estate industry is right now. They're in denial that the market's changed. And you'll see people who will fight like hell to deny that the market's changing. And, they don't want to look at numbers. They don't want to look at facts. And if anyone presents to them anything that's contrary to their one very myopic vision of the world, they're accused of being pessimists, or, they're accused of basically, trying to spin information one way or the other. But the fact is, guys, it's okay to feel remorse, it's okay to feel denial. It's okay to feel like, oh my gosh, the world's changing again. I mean, Julie and I certainly did when the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
We went through all the same things. But the key is you got to pivot out of it fast, because what happens is staying in that denial phase can take up years, if not decades, of your life. You can have 2 or 3 market cycles pass you because of the fact that you've been, essentially dug in and with your beliefs. And that is something that we don't want to happen to all of you or any of you. The reality of it is no matter how many times we say that, some of you are going to ignore us, and you're going to essentially, believe that this the market shift isn't going to affect you. Rising interest rates aren't going to affect you. Inflation isn't going to affect you. The recession isn't going to affect you. And then when it does, it's too late for you to make changes fast enough, and then you're really needlessly suffering. Don't let that happen. Point number 2.
Yes, that leads us to point number 2. Successful real estate agents and brokers own their own success or failure every day. They use the mantra, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. That works both ways. If they didn't take a listing, they found out why and made the commitment to themselves to not let that failure happen again. Now, John Wooden said, quote, "You can make mistakes, but you're not a failure until you start blaming others for those mistakes."
It's funny, quote. As you read that quote, I was thinking of Zoe, 8.5 years old. I mean, when she trips, she blames the concrete.
It's not my fault.
She blames her shoes.
Yes.
Right. I mean, when she doesn't get her homework done, what she is doing during the summer, she blames, I don't know, anything
Something.
but her.
Yeah.
Right.
Too hungry, whatever.
I'm going to take a half step back and talk about the first point, and then we'll get to the third point. Julie was talking about the fact that successful agents feel the same fears, struggles, and challenges as everyone else. They just aren't paralyzed by it. And the thing that she said before that was really, hopefully, impactful on all of you. No matter how old you are, whether you're young or whether you think you're old, the fact is it's not too late for you. The fact is, as long as you're waking up and looking at the green side of the grass, it's a great day, and you only live once and you're dead a real long time. So I'll strongly encourage all of you, no matter whether you think you're too young, too old, too fat, too dumb, too smart, whatever it is, you really need to set those really probably mostly misconceived notions about yourself aside and realize that those are the very things that are holding you back. What you are is someone who wants to be of service to other people. What you are is someone that wants to help other people. What you are is someone that wants to be successful in all the meaningful ways from having helped a lot of other people accomplish their goals, which is buying or selling real estate. Never before, I mean, we could argue the real estate crash, but never before in such technicolor do I remember a market where caring, competent, professional real estate agents have been so much in need. This change that we're going through now, always keep in mind that rickety rope bridge that all of us have to cross together. The next step is not assured as to where you're supposed to be stepping because all those pieces of wood all look a little bit, aged. So you're a little sketch. So you're nervous about where to step next. And look, you can hopefully step in the same, rungs that the guy before you or gal before you did. But if you're not even on the rope bridge, or don't even see the fact that the zombies are forming around the corner, what are you going to do about it then? This goes to mindset. But here's the way to cure mindset is to work on your skill set. And we've made it easy for you. We want you all, every single one of you, and there's tens of thousands of you that listen to us every single day, to join Premier Coaching. And we've removed all the excuses for you. We've removed every single possible reason why you wouldn't want to join. Here's the biggest one. It's free. You can join Premier Coaching right now for the first 30 days, absolutely free. And guys, this is not some lightweight, watered down version. This is the normal Premier Coaching that costs thousands of dollars that you can join for free. And yes, that does include the daily semi-private coaching call with one of our Harris certified coaches. That does include the listing presentations, the scripts, the objection handlers, the 90-day massive action plan, the real estate survival guide, the real estate treasure map. That does include all the things that you are looking for. So many of you right now, and we get the emails, I read the Instagram comments, we are completely dialed in with all of our coaching clients, and we're obviously helping all of our Premier Coaching clients in our private community pages, which you also will have access to. And we know the reason that people are joining our coaching program is because they want a clear sense of direction. So do you, and that's what this is. And that's the reason we're doing it for free. This is our way of helping the real estate community, all 1.6 million agents. You're all invited to join Premier Coaching, and it's free. So just text the word Premier to 47372. Text the word Premier to 47372. You can join on your own. All you've got, it takes 22 seconds to, essentially join Premier Coaching, and you get instant access to everything I just talked about and a heck of a lot more. So just text the word Premier to 47372, or of course, you can just go to members.timandjulieharris.com. Members.timandjulieharris.com. Again, text the number Premier, text the word Premier to 47372, or just go to members.timandjulieharris.com. Remember, message and data rates may apply if you're texting, but do that now. Do not delay. This is the clear sense of direction that if you're not really even feeling like you need it now, why wait? You're going to know, you're going to feel like you need it in about 60 days, if not 6 minutes. So take action on that now. Point number three.
Point number 3, successful agents understand that success is incremental. They celebrate the small victories because they know that when those are accumulated, those victories add up to bigger successes. This is something that the coaches talk about on those daily sessions quite frequently, is an agent will be frustrated or they won't know what went sideways. And the coach can look in, I call them interested third parties, right?
Right.
They're going to look in and they're going to say, you know what you did do right? Maybe you didn't use all 7 steps of the 7-step listing system, but you know what? You killed it on number 4 and 5. You just made this one mistake that you can fix and you'll win next time.
This is an oversimplification, what I'm about to explain to you guys, but this is, I think, a good representation of what Julie just said. So if you worked at McDonald's, and some of you have, great first job, frankly. It's not a career path, but for many of you, it's been a great first job. If you worked at McDonald's or any other place, you were told to do things in a certain order exactly like you were supposed to do it every single time. So the product that you were producing for said customer was exactly the way they expected it to be. Whether you are in China, whether you're in Omaha, Columbus, Ohio, San Diego,
The
California.
fries are going to taste the same.
The fries are going to taste the same. The Big Mac is going to taste the same. Damn, wouldn't you love a Big Mac?
Stop talking.
Okay. All right. The milkshake's going to taste the same. Everything's going to taste the same. And even if you look at the register, there's pictures of what the thing is. You don't have to, figure it out. It's all right there. Very well thought through.
Systematized.
Exactly. That is how your real estate business should be. Every single thing should be already thought through, already mastered, already ready for you to implement, not waiting for you to figure it out. And okay, well, you just got a job at McDonald's. It's your job to figure out how to make a cheeseburger. Nope. You show up, you put on your outfit, you follow these instructions, you do it in this order, you produce this product, and you do it every single time. That's called a real business. That's what all of you should be working towards in your real estate businesses. That way you start having, just like McDonald's does, predictable results. That's what Premier Coaching is for all of you if you choose to decide to, frankly, become a true professional.
Yes. So point number 4, for example, successful real estate agents don't judge every single thing that happens as either good or bad. Instead, they say it's too soon to tell. And that irons out all the dramatic ups and downs in their business practice, as well as in their day-to-day lives. There's a Swedish proverb which states, worry often gives a small thing a big shadow. Successful people are constantly taking action and not getting stuck in the worry about those small things. And this is one of the things that I see that drives me crazy about agents posting online about each other and deals and things that have gone sideways and the drama, the woe. But stop judging every last thing. It's too soon to tell. Maybe that buyer lost that house they were trying to buy because you're going to show them something tomorrow that's 10 times as good. Maybe you didn't take that listing because you were supposed to learn a lesson about how to communicate better with a seller. It's too soon to tell. So stop being judgy about every last thing. That's just too much work.
And here's what happens in a market. Well, any market, but a market like this, especially because everything's so fearful, based in fear, is you really have to isolate yourself. And I don't want to ramble on about having a media-free life. Just go to YouTube or go to our iTunes and just put in media-free when you're researching any of our past presentations, and you'll understand. Or obviously, if you're a coaching client. Here's the bottom line, though, is in a marketplace like this, in a world like this, you should be focusing on fewer things. And by fewer things, I mean no more than 5 things every single day. And I'll just, here's the things that if you were being coached directly and personally by myself, here's what I would tell you to focus on. Every single day, exercise in a meaningful way, right? Every single day. And I'm going to do these out of order, but you'll get the idea. Go to bed at the same time. Get up at the same time. Limit your alcohol. In other words, watch your diet. Every single day, you guys can choose all of these or some of these. Every single day, show overt gratitude towards your family members. If your family member consists of a dog and a goldfish, that counts too. Every single day, do all of your lead follow-up with the intent of setting an appointment, not with the intent of setting another follow-up call. In other words, you're using the script that we give you as far as Premier Coaching. Sorry, those of you who don't like the word script. Conversation outline. Nice button was pushed. Right. Every single day you should be doing proactive lead generation. Every single day you should move towards setting one pre-qualified listing appointment. There are certain things that you should be doing every single day that are 100% geared towards you having a powerful mindset. In other words, you see and feel yourself moving forward. So you're always encouraged, not discouraged. And these are all momentum things. A lot of discouragement, which a lot of you are filling your lives with right now and your minds with, those things compound. There's a compounding effect to discouragement, to feeling, you can say pessimistic or optimistic, but really all it really is energy depleting versus energy, repeating. And that's really what it comes down to. So if you really focus on 3 to 5 things every single day, don't have many more things than that you're going to do. At the end of the day, if you've done those 3 to 5 things at the highest level, remember, doing what you don't want to do when you don't want to do it at the highest level, you will feel fantastic. Maybe not the first day, but after you've done consistent things every single day, Julie and I went on a walk today. We had a janky start to our day, a little bit later start in the day. So we went on our 2-mile walk, how far we go here. It was hot. And then I told Julie, Julie, I'll make you a deal. Let's skip kettlebell hell. That's what we call it.
Yep. Still doing that.
And for today. And then we'll make it up on Saturday. And she said, nope, I don't want to break what I've been doing consistently for the last 45 days. And she's absolutely right. Julie is setting the bar for us 100% when it comes to the physicality, the physical aspect. And that's good. She's essentially doing what she says. She's living by her own words.
That doesn't mean I liked it, but
No.
I liked sticking to what I promised myself and you that I would do.
Yep.
So that gets back to realizing that success is incremental, right? So I didn't want to skip a day. And I knew that even though I wasn't looking forward to it, because let's be honest, we never look forward to kettlebell hell, but I was looking forward to having that little success, because the little successes always add up.
Yep, and she was right. We ended up doing it. We ended up getting it over with, and we're glad that we did. And now at the end of the day, We have the feeling of success and accomplishment from knowing we did what we didn't want to do and we didn't want to do it at the highest level. Again, that's an accumulation thing. If you just do it sporadically, like one day a week or a little bit here, a little bit there, you're never going to build that mindset. If you want to have a really powerful mindset, listen, guys, we are, though frankly, we don't really do it anymore. We do set goals. We do create action plans behind our goals. We don't do dream boards. We don't do any of those things. And the reason is because, frankly, our dreams and our goals are always changing and evolving because we, generally speaking, are going to accomplish them relatively quick because goal setting and goal accomplishment just becomes a habit like everything else in life. And some of you are experiencing that in differing ways. But here's really what the bottom line is. If you want to truly have a powerful mindset, it comes through accomplishment. Accomplishment comes through action. The action that you're almost always going to have to take is going to be the actions that you don't want to take. If you really want to know what's going to make you the most money and make you the most proud of yourself, short and long term in life and your real estate business, I want you to ask yourself right now, what are the 3 things that you least want to do in your real estate business? What are the 3 things right now that you absolutely positively do not want to do? Write those things down or think of them. Now, here's a little magic with this. Those are probably the exact same three things that would get you the quickest results, put you in a position to help the most people, make the most money. But those are also probably the 3 things where you have lots of irrational fears associated with them. Maybe they require some skill. What it really requires is you doing what you don't want to do when you don't want to do it at the highest level. But have you noticed this, listeners and viewers on YouTube, that the things that get you the biggest results in life, the most meaningful results in life, are the very same damn things that you do not want to do? That sucks, doesn't
Always.
it? I wish it wasn't that way.
It's always like that.
Why can't we get what we want in life by eating donuts?
I know. I always thought that you should be born with a few extra pounds on you, a ton of money in the bank, and then worked your way backwards and then, died having lost all of your weight and going broke. Because what do you care when you're gone, right?
That's depressing.
I know, but
that
wouldn't be much fun, though.
You're kind of in a dark mood for a chipper little thing.
No, I was just thinking that the accumulation effect works both ways.
Oh, sure it does.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you have an accumulation of not doing proactive things, say in your real estate practice, well, part of the problem, and we talked about this on a podcast before, is that there is too much time between not doing something proactive and paying the price.
Well, go back to what you just said, because that point was really important. There's a positive accumulation effect and negative accumulation effect.
Yeah.
It's basically similar to wealth creation.
Sure.
Or, essentially getting in good shape. You and I've talked about this on the podcast.
Or even saving money.
You and I were, we were both nerds, basically. Big surprise. Both introverts. We gained a lot of weight when we got into real estate. I came across some old pictures and we both looked like little Michelin men. And, we lost all of that weight, but it was we didn't get fat just like by overnight. No. We got fat over, a relatively long period of time.
A series of late night pizzas.
Thank you, real estate, and then we lost it and we kept it off and we haven't gained it back. And this was something we did when we were in our late 20s, early 30s. But guys, all of this is the same thing. So right now, whether you like it or not, accept it or not, you are essentially creating momentum, or positive or negative momentum. And you're doing it in your, spiritual aspect of your life, your educational aspect of your life, your financial aspect, your physical aspect, all these different things that you think about in your life, you're gaining or losing in the direction that you're actually headed. So you need to make the decision, and it happens with your actions. And I promise you, and it's the sucky part of life, but what it is ultimately that you're going to want the most in your life, what you're going to be most proud of in your life, is accomplishment of the things that you mostly didn't want to do.
Absolutely.
Consistently.
Yes, it's absolutely true. So, point number 5, successful real estate agents and brokers don't quit when things are hard. They simply don't give up until they find a solution. They are problem solvers. They focus on how to be of service to others at the highest level. Now, Benjamin Franklin said, energy and persistence conquer all things. That's one of the reasons why we did last week's podcast series where we're talking about don't give up on home inspections. Don't give up when your buyer's mortgage tanks. Don't give up so fast. And I realize that many of you guys are not used to having to stick to it this hard because, there's a report this morning, 15% of contracts fell apart last month because interest rates went higher, because loans got denied, because buyers freaked out, whatever.
It's all the things you and I talked about on this presentation, on the show, a month ago. We were telling them how deals were going to flake out because the lenders were changing their criteria because buyers didn't want to catch a falling knife. It's the psychology that we warned you guys about that hopefully you're preparing yourselves for. But I want to share with you something. Competition is real. I know there's this woo-woo, feel good, big pie, small pie, all these little sort of, conversations that go on under the guise of mindset. And they all want you to believe that your only competitor is yourself. That's 100% bullshit. Your competitor all your competitors are the other agents in your marketplace that want to get that listing. And you know this intuitively. Life is about competition. Life literally is created around competition. You are here listening to us right now as a result of competition. And we can get it, approach this from a biological perspective. If you think about it, I'll be a little bit off-putting here. When your mom and your dad had, sex, and then there was a whole bunch
back when you were made,
you were a result of competition that happened on a very core level, a biological level, right?
There was a little swimmer that was a little stronger than the other guys,
competing with like 60 million other little swimmers,
and it didn't give up.
That's right. Exactly. Thank you for saving me on that. But guys, the moral of this story is that every single aspect of your life is competition. And if you're not, you don't have to go around and it's like when you talk about this, I think it's so amazing. The kids nowadays are raised to believe there's no such thing as competition. Everyone gets participation trophies. Yeah. You let me know how that works out in real life. It doesn't. It won't. There's not enough. Ultimately, there is enough for everyone to go around because as demand increases, so will the production to meet that demand. It's called a market economy. So it's not a scarcity versus abundance conversation. It's more of about a lazy versus not lazy conversation. People hate the word lazy, but at the end of the day, if you drove past that FSBO listening to us right now in your car and you just put your emotional or maybe even held your hand up blinder on and did not see that for sale by owner, you cannot tell me that isn't anything other than you're being lazy. Why? What should you be doing to get that listing, to help that potential seller and multiple other transactions that come from that? Learn how to have a conversation with them. How hard is that? That's not about competition or your mindset or your dream boards or your big why. That's about you simply not having the skill set. Skill set's not hard to get. Get it and then start getting the benefits of having earned it.
Yes. And number 6, successful brokers and agents track their key performance indicators, KPIs, using whiteboards. They know what makes them money and what's a waste of time. They are more efficient than the unsuccessful. They know this because they use visual accountability of whiteboards. And I'm sure that we have a podcast in the archives all about visual accountability and whiteboards. We also teach it in coaching. It's also in the Harris Rules book. It's also in the Real Estate Treasure Map. So You think it's effective, perhaps?
Well, they get a whole explanation of that. You mentioned all the sources, but they get essentially a whole, demo of that when they join Premier Coaching.
That's right.
Because it's part of the Real Estate Treasure Map, which is our fill-in-the-blank business and life plan, which would be a fantastic thing for all of you guys to be filling out right now. Now, a special note for some of you who are not having a stellar year. I know a lot of our podcast listeners are having one of the best years ever because of this market. Certainly coaching clients are experiencing that as well because of this market. And going back to the whole competition thing, when your competitors don't know what to do and you do know what to do, you're going to be earning more money and helping more people while they're still trying to figure it out. That's one of the benefits of essentially knowing what to do, having done what you didn't want to do when you didn't want to do it at the highest level. But ultimately where this goes, guys, is tuning back in to your highest and truest purpose on this planet, which is being of service to other people. Now, the Real Estate Treasure Map is your fill-in-the-blank business and life plan. Now, if you did not have a great first start of your year, that's okay. I have a suggestion for you. Why don't you count today as the start of your next year? In other words, there's physical years and there's fiscal years, right? Beginning of one year to the end of the other. Look at your calendar. That's a physical year. Fiscal year is an accounting term in essence. And so why don't you maybe say today is effectively January 1st, and I'm going to look at, 365 days from now as the end of my year. Emotionally, give yourself permission to restart the year, opposed to saying, for example, well, you know what? This hasn't been a great year. I'm just going to write this year off and just get what I'm going to get.
I'll try again next year.
I'm going to work on how to make a TikTok video. No. Get to work. Because of this market, get to work. Guys, there is zero chance over the next 6 to 12 months, the market's not going to become challenging in every meaningful way. Get your skills on. Point number 7, Julie Harris.
Point number 7, successful agents and brokers have very specific goals, both short and long term. They have a plan to achieve those goals, and they stick to it. We just talked about the Real Estate Treasure Map. Since they have a plan, things are less likely to get in the way of that plan. Now, Henry Ford said, obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off of your goals. You cannot be going through life and expect success if you do not have goals set in place and are following a plan. So, homework. Ask yourself which of these points you're already following, just like the most successful real estate professionals are, and which ones you need to work on. So get help. Don't suffer needlessly when you can follow a proven system.
Now, I want you guys to do a little internal, introspection right now. How do you feel? Do you notice how you most likely feel energized, motivated, maybe excited? Do you feel secure right now? I bet you do. That comes from having knowledge. That comes from having skills. We just gave you a little sprinkling of what you get in Premier Coaching. But do you notice how your emotional state now is, say, more confident? You need more of that because of this market. That is what's going to be the wind, in your wing or under your wings to make it so you do what you don't want to do and you don't want to do at the highest level. Do whatever it takes to isolate yourself from the negative. Do whatever it takes to isolate yourself from the lazy and the complacent. Do whatever it takes to isolate yourself from anybody that gives you any reason to believe that you can't absolutely dominate in this market because of this market. That is what our real estate community and Premier Coaching is all about. We love the opportunity to be of service to you. And remember, guys, the simplest thing for you to do now, the thing that makes the most sense, why the heck haven't you done it yet, is text the word Premier to 47372. Text the word Premier, Premier, to 47372. Or just go to members.timandjulieharris.com, members.timandjulieharris.com. Julie, what is tomorrow's podcast about?
You asked me too quick because I'm working on several of them at the same time. I have a short podcast that is like 10 reasons why you guys are crazy to negotiate anything via text and some examples of what not to do. I have, how to pass your real estate exam in 10 steps or less for the newbies.
You should do that video today. You want to do it today?
Maybe.
Let's do it today.
Yeah.
All right.
Type it out.
So you guys just helped me talk Julie into doing what she didn't want to do when she didn't want to do.
Again today. Thanks a lot, guys.
See how all of you helped me to hold Julie, who's the head of coaching and our production, accountable to getting results. That's great. Oh, by the way, if you guys have any suggestions for topics or ideas, you can always message us over on Instagram. It's at Tim and Julie Harris. Or, of course, you can leave messages on our YouTube or wherever else. Let us know what more of what you need and less of maybe what you're delivering that maybe you don't need. We obviously pay attention to all the analytics. To mix it up too. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure we are in alignment with what you guys are needing in your business and, frankly, in your personal lives too. Because a lot of this stuff, being a real estate practitioner, obviously it's intertwined. And listen, if you are thinking about changing brokers, if you're thinking about eXp Realty, and if you've not yet chosen your sponsor, Julie and I would be honored to be considered to be your eXp Realty sponsor. Please text me directly at 512-758-0206. 512-758-0206. I'll answer any of the questions you have, but don't call. Please text. A lot of you, for some reason, call. Just text if you're ready to join eXp Realty, and we'll have a conversation with you about doing so. And yes, it'll be me, and yes, it'll be you and I, and yes, I'll answer all your questions. And eXp Realty is the next natural step for all of you guys, frankly, because of this market. And we'd certainly appreciate the honor of being your eXp Realty host. In the meantime,
sponsor.
eXp Realty sponsor. In the meantime, you guys have a fantastic day. We'll talk to you on the show tomorrow.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.